All right, another band that continued on with all original members who lost an original member this week.
Okay.
Is the band Mr. Big.
Yeah, that sucked.
Drummer Pat Torpey passed away this week after his battle with Parkinson's disease.
Yeah, that blows.
And we've had Pat on the show once or twice before, I think.
I don't know. Have we?
I don't know. I thought maybe we've had him on once.
You know what? I thought about. I know I've never interviewed him. I've met him because I was a fan of Mr. Big. You know who I think you're thinking of?
Pat Badger.
Pat Badger.
Yeah.
Of Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I've met Pat Torpey.
Yeah, Torpey. Yeah.
You know, I've met him a few times and seemed like a nice enough guy, but yeah, that was he 62 or something?
64.
Yeah, young and never got off the fucking road.
Yeah,
that sucks.
But Pat Torpey, drummer and founding member of Mr. Big, passed away on Wednesday, February 7th at the age of 64 from complications of Parkinson's disease.
Yeah, that sucks. Parkinson's motherfucker too.
Yeah, really.
If you came down with Parkinson's, do you live through it or do you fucking pistol it?
Well, a guy that has Parkinson's, or a couple people, famous people, obviously Michael J. Fox has it. And, he obviously has, you see him on any kind of an interview or even acting.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell he's, suffering from some of the side effects of that. That
dude wow. That dude's all over the place.
He is.
Can you imagine that? I can't even fathom that going on all goddamn day long. Just trying to sit down and watch TV and your arms all fucking freaking out and your legs and shit. Oof. Dude, that's got to be the worst.
Yeah. And didn't Muhammad Ali also have that?
I think he did, yeah. Yeah, I gotta say, I think if I come down with Parkinson's, I'm fucking eating one from the judge. That is one I just don't want to deal with. And I'm going to do it early, too, so that I can fucking make sure I aim and connect. Don't shoot up my house.
Right.
Just hit myself in the head.
Sure.
I'd imagine if you wait too long, it's pretty tough to stick that fucker in your mouth. Ugh, that just sounds terrible.
It is. But, getting back to like a Michael J. Fox, though.
Yeah.
He, a guy who's been dealing with that for how many years now?
20, 15?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, but somehow he's, regardless of his condition, he's continued to act in various cameo roles and things like that.
Yeah, but don't you think that that's Hollywood just throwing him a bone?
You think?
Yes. I absolutely think that. I 100% think that is Hollywood trying to play politically correct. You're not going to bring on a fucking actor that fucking can't stand still to do a scene. Can you imagine the editing that has to go into fucking filming a scene with that guy? You probably need to do like a 6-camera shoot and then edit it all together so it looks like he's standing still. I mean, honestly, I don't know, and I know that sounds fucked up, but I mean, dude, they're throwing him a bone. They're not, he's not getting major roles. He's getting minor shit.
Well, that's what I said, cameos. Yeah,
but they're doing that because he's fucking handicapped now. That's why. They're, one of their own is going through something shitty, and they can't just fucking ignore him, because he has that big foundation or whatnot. So, it's to their benefit to have a fucking episode of Grey's Anatomy with the Parkinson's guy showing up in the fucking emergency room. That's just the truth of it. I think. You don't think so? You think that
I don't know enough about it. I mean, I'm sure that there's some of the sympathy factor there.
Yeah. I mean, do you think he's getting calls based on how they think he's going to perform?
No, not at all. Not in the least.
Or is it because he's a guy with Parkinson's and it makes the show look fucking compassionate?
Maybe.
That's what I think it is. Sorry if that's harsh, but it's just the truth.
Yeah. Well, Pat Torpey of Mr. Big, I guess he basically performed with the band on a limited basis.
Yeah, he did. He was still doing shows. I know Wardlaw went up and saw it in Pittsburgh in November, and Pat played that show.
Mm-hmm.
So he was playing right till the end.
So were Mr. Big being compassionate?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I think so, because they were, the fact that they had to bring out another drummer.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, due to his inability to be a full effective drummer, yeah, they would have to bring out another guy, but they didn't just sideline this guy and say, well, fuck it, you're done.
No, they didn't, but they did that again because he was their original guy that had been with them for all those years. They don't want to just say, oh, well, you're sick, fuck you, you're out of here. They don't want to do a fucking Frankie Banali on Mark Huff. They don't want to be that. They don't want to be assholes like that. Oh, you're fired. Here's your text. Hope your brain surgery goes okay.
Right.
They don't want to be that fucking level of dick. So they fucking took him out when he was capable, because he's their friend and whatever, and he's their longtime guy. But yeah, they absolutely were doing him a solid. They certainly weren't, when he's debilitated with Parkinson's, they sure as fuck weren't gonna. I'll put it this way: they didn't go out on tour without a backup with them.
True.
So that if he showed up at a gig and he was fucking too shaky or whatever, they didn't have another drummer on standby ready to play the gigs. They weren't going to cancel gigs because he couldn't play.
True.
So to me, that's being compassionate. That's not keeping him in because he still is, performing at his top peak level.
No, not at all.
That's so, they're playing the game, and I get it. I mean, you don't want to fire a guy because he's sick, because that's fucking really, really, really shitty.
Yeah.
Frankie Banali. But, at the same time, you got to make consent. You got to be ready. So, yeah. But like I said, Parkinson's is a motherfucker, man.
It is.
Ugh, fuck that.
Well, Mr. Big vocalist, Mr. Eric Martin, called Torpey the strongest guy I know in an interview with Total Rock last December. He's such a strong personality, very smart, a great rock and roll drummer, and Parkinson's disease has taken apart his nervous system. Once in a while, he'll play a few songs with us. Our last tour, he played half the songs.
Mm-hmm.
With Matt Starr, played the other half.
Yeah.
On the most recent European tour, Matt plays the full drum kit when we call it a cocktail kit, but it's a percussive kit, and he's to the left of Matt and plays all the percussion and sings all the stuff. Spiritually, okay. Pat is our driving force behind the band. Every time he goes, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but if he bows out, I'm going to bow out with him.
So I guess that's the end of Mr. Big, huh?
Well, I think if he quit the band, bow out, I mean, death is pretty final.
No, he bowed out, all right.
Yeah.
Bowed all the way out.
But it doesn't say that, well, this is the end of Mr. Big.
Yeah. And I mean, they've had replacements before.
Sure, they have. They had Richie Kotzen at one point, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Kotzen was in there, so they could survive without him.
So,
I mean, at this point, though, it's Mr. Big. I mean, outside of Japan, is there a big audience hoping that they, announce Matt Starr as the original or as the new drummer and for John? I like Mr. Big too, but is there really that dire audience for it?
No, not here in the States.
Yeah, I mean in Japan maybe, but I don't know. It just sucks. Anytime you hear about any of these guys fucking dying, dying of some horrific disease, that A, strips them of their talent and then fucking strips them of their life. That just blows. It really is shitty.
I agree.
It's awful.
It is awful.